Hi, I'm Angela Lewis. I am the business and marketing teacher at John Hardin High School, and I am so happy that you are with me today for my virtual session on making a school store a reality. About 5 or 6 years ago at John Hardin, we decided to go back to trying to have a school store once again. And we have experienced a tremendous amount of success. This has been our best DECA fundraiser ever. So I just want to share with you today some steps that we went through and some things we learned along the way that we think will make your journey to opening a school store go much more smoothly and be much more successful. I'm just going to warn you that I am recording this at my home, which is currently under construction. So if you hear sawing and hammering in the background, I apologize. I'm going to try to cover that up, but it happens periodically. So good chance that you may hear that. Okay, so how to make a school store a reality. The first thing that we learned is that getting your principal on board is extremely important. So typically, principals want to hear from the students and not from the teacher. So when it comes to getting approval, first I want to talk about what your students need to do. First of all, you need to have your class research the federal food laws. That's extremely important because that is going to be your guiding beacon as to what you can sell, when you can sell it, that kind of thing. So you want your students to look very knowledgeable or to be very knowledgeable when they go and speak to the principal. So our students knew the federal food law inside and out. And so that's number one. Number two, have them write a formal business plan. Have them work as a team and write a formal business plan that they can submit to the administration for approval. Then schedule a time to meet with the admin team to present your proposal. And when they present it, have them in a Shark Tank mentality, like have them thinking professional dress, professional speech. Make sure they've rehearsed it and gone through it several times before they present because they really want to sell this. So you're going to go in there with a Shark Tank mentality. Okay, the next thing is what you need to do. Here are some important things that I learned. Number one, make friends with the cafeteria manager. I went to our cafeteria manager, had a sit down with him, and he's very, very open and really supportive. And he pretty much said, I don't care what you sell. Some of the things that you sell may compete with some of the things that they have in the cafeteria. For example, our cafeteria sells like granola bars and snacky kind of stuff like that at lunch. Well, we sell some of those things before school in our school store. So I knew that there was the option that students may come and buy those in our store before school and then eat them at lunchtime rather than go buy them from the cafeteria. And our cafeteria manager, completely supportive. But that's somebody you definitely want to win over. Make friends with your cafeteria manager so they do not view this as a competition with the cafeteria. Make sure you work with your bookkeeper. Start off day one working closely with your bookkeeper so that both of you are on the same page about what paperwork needs to be done, how often it needs to be done, when it's due, what the expectations are for inventory. So make sure that you also make the bookkeeper your best friend. Talk it up to your faculty. They are going to be some of your best marketing, but they can also be some of the ones who view it as a competition. Especially if they sell candy bars as fundraisers or they sell t-shirts as fundraisers. So you want to talk it up and make this look like something that's going to be a win-win for them. Give them free coffees or give them a coffee card where they get 4 punches, they get the 5th coffee free. So make them understand that it's going to be a benefit to the faculty as well. And then you may also contact local businesses such as Kroger and Target and look for sponsorships. We did not have a lot of luck with this in Elizabethtown. However, I have talked to other schools that have had great success with it. So Kroger came in and sponsored them. And so they get all of their supplies. They got marketing shelves and displays from Kroger. So go in and talk to places like Kroger and Target and see if they'll be willing to sponsor your school store. Preparation is key for smooth sailing. Have your marketing classes create and administer some marketing research to find out what the students want. It does not do any good to have a school store if you're selling stuff that the students do not want to buy. So we spent a lot of time doing marketing research. We put together a couple of surveys. We put those out to the students via things like SurveyMonkey. We posted the Snapchat, the little Snapchat icon, so they could just scan it with their phones and take our surveys through Snapchat. But find out what they want to buy. What do they want to buy before school? What do they want to buy after school? And then build the hype. Start a marketing campaign and plan it and implement it before your school store opens each year. So basically, school starts in August here. So we're in school for a couple of weeks, and then we launch a marketing campaign. And then after that marketing campaign has run for a week, then we open our school store. So every year, you have to rebuild the hype. You're going to have return students that remember that the school store is there, but then you're also going to have your incoming new students that have no idea what your school store is or where it's located. So you got to build that hype every year. Okay, so one of the ways that we build the hype is that every year my advanced marketing classes are the ones that design the marketing campaigns. And sometimes it's based around just one particular product that's in our school store that's something new. Or sometimes it's based around an event that's occurring that month. So here's a couple of our favorite commercials that were videoed by my advanced marketing students. So I want to show you these just to kind of help give you some ideas and get your creative juices flowing. So this is our principal, and he was the star of one of our very favorite marketing campaigns.
If he would have pat you on the back, he would put it on your resume. All of the students at his school do their homework because they want to learn. His legend precedes him like lightning precedes thunder. If he were to give you directions to class, you would never get lost, and you would arrive at least 5 minutes early. He is the most interesting principal in the world.
I don't always wear ear warmers, but when I do, I wear John Harden Bulldog ear warmers. Stay prepared, John Harden.
Okay, so that is the first of our favorite commercials. Now, here's the second one. My advanced marketing class designed the second one when Fortnite became very popular. So if you're up to a speed on Fortnite, then you'll get this. My students had to explain this one to me because I'm not a Fortnite fan, so they had to explain to me what was going on, but our students loved it. Okay, come on, play my commercial.
What is this place? John Wick, is that you?
Yes, it is I, John Wick. And this is John Hart General, where you can get all the supplies, epic drops, and all the John Hart merch you could ever want. Here, take this.
Wow, thanks. Thanks, John.
I know where I'm dropping next time. John Hart General, where everyone gets the family discount.
So what my students did is they hid llamas all around the school. And when the students found a llama, there was a coupon on the back for them to get a discount or a free item at the school store. So there were students all over the school looking for these llamas. So that really built some hype. It got the students involved. They had a lot of fun doing it. And like I said, somebody had to explain Fortnite and the llama thing to me, but the students all knew exactly what it was. Okay, management structure. So our school store was originated by our DECA officer team 5 years ago. And our DECA officers are basically the shift managers and the trainers for our store. So basically, they run the store. One of the DECA officers has to work every shift. They are the managers of each shift, and they're also responsible for training the new employees. The DECA members are the employees, and they must work a set number of shifts each trimester in order to earn their portion of the profits to help pay for their expenses to attend DECA conferences. So 100% of the profits from our school store goes to covering travel expenses for our DECA chapter. And so in order to get your share of the profits to pay for your DECA trip, then there's a certain number of shifts that you have to work. So for example, between September and the fall workshop, you have to work X number of shifts to help pay for your travel to the fall workshop. And then from that point until we go to our regional conference, there's a set number of shifts that each member has to work to get a part of their travel paid for to go to the regional conference. Same thing for state and ICDC. So it's kind of the shifts are their incentive to work, and each one of them is usually pretty excited just to get some of their expenses paid for, and we are actually able to cover quite a bit of their expenses through the profits of the store. Training is super important. Do not assume that your students know how to work retail. In fact, most of them have never had a job. So you need to have a training day. So the first training day needs to be for your managers. So train your managers first. Here's how it's going to run. Here's what you're going to need to do each day when you show up. And then teach them also what they need to teach the employees. Here's what the employees need to do each day. Then at the second training day, you need to have a training day for employees and let the managers help you with that training. Usually what we'll do is we'll have the training day for the managers, and then we'll have a chapter meeting, like a really short chapter meeting. And then after that chapter meeting, we'll have the training day for the employees. But training is extremely important. Do not assume they even know how to turn on the Keurig. Don't assume they know how to count change. They have to be taught everything. Most of them have never had a job. Get your other business and marketing classes involved as much as possible, not just your DECA members. They are your best advertisement. They'll go out and talk to everybody in their other classes about it because they're super excited that they got involved. Some ways that I do this is I use my management entrepreneurship class to create the work schedule. I give them the employees and the managers, and I say, okay, here are the shifts, and they create the work schedules. And then we create a bi-weekly schedule where people can sign up when they can work, and then they put it in the computer for me. So my management entrepreneurship team is responsible for that. If we have an issue that arises in the school store, then a lot of times that'll be their bell ringer for the day. This happened in the school store this week. What do you think is the best solution for this? So they really like getting involved in the reality of creating a solution for a problem in a real business. Also, I use them to do like weekly merchandise inventories and stock reordering. So I'll have a team in my management entrepreneurship class that goes in weekly and checks inventory and fills out a reorder request for me. So we are open twice a day, before school in the morning and after school in the afternoons. We are not allowed to run our school store during the day. Because we sell food, and you're going to want to sell food. Food is your best seller because they're going to buy food every day. If you sell spiritware, they may buy one t-shirt a year. But if you sell food, they will buy food every day. So the deal that we have is that we open like at 8 o'clock in the morning. And once the bell rings for school to officially start, we have to close down. And then at 3:40 when school's out, we reopen, and if we have band practice, soccer practice, basketball practice, football practice, all the athletes, the band people, everybody comes to the school store to get their snacks before they go to their practices. So we get hit really hard right after school too. So what happens in the mornings? Well, in the mornings, all the managers and employees clock in as soon as they arrive. Now, we use a free app for our scheduling that's called Homebase. And the link for it is right there in my PowerPoint. However, I've been told that we also use a Square for our cash register, and I've been told that there is a similar software embedded within the Square where you can have them clock in. I've just been using Homebase all along, so I've just stuck with it. But the Square thing might be easier. So the manager that comes in the morning has to count the cash box to make sure that we have the right amount of cash to start each day. And then they also start the Square and have all the employees clock in. All the employees are to check and make sure that all the merchandise and displays are fully stocked. They turn the Keurig on, fill it with water. We play music in our school store every day, so they turn the music on. A lot of times in the mornings, our school store is kind of like a karaoke bar. I mean, kids are in there and they're playing music and they're singing. And like one of their favorites is like the Neil Diamond song, Sweet Caroline, and you can hear them singing it all the way down the hall. So it's a lot of fun. It kind of gets them pumped up and gets them in the mood. If there's new inventory, then that has to be counted before it can be displayed. And that has to go on an inventory form and also has to be entered in the Square. So if there's new inventory that's come in that morning, then that has to be done too. How many people work? We have 4 employees that work most shifts. We have 2 working at the checkout, 1 working at the coffee bar, and 1 working security. And unfortunately, yes, we have had shoplifters. You could have shoplifters too. So we have a security person who stands at the back near some of the items that are the most likely to be shoplifted. At the end of the morning when we close, the manager locks the cash box up in the cabinet. We turn the Keurig off. The open sign and the music are turned off. The door is locked, and everyone clocks out and goes to class. We also have online ordering for teachers throughout the day. So I use a Google form for this, and there's a menu that they can look at, and they can just click on the items they want. And then I have DECA members in my classes check it each period, fill the orders, and deliver it to the teachers. And our teachers love this. It keeps them supportive of the school store, and it keeps them coming back buying our merchandise. So we have teachers that in the middle of the day are like, oh, I need a cappuccino, So they'll get online, order a cappuccino. We make it and take it up to them. We make everything with a Keurig. So we've got, a Keurig, but we make regular coffees, we make cappuccinos, we make lattes that we do it all with a Keurig. So what happens in the afternoons? The rush is immediately after the bell. Your workers must get down there quickly. So typically I have DECA members sitting in my classroom. So even if they're not on the schedule to work that day, I have them get up and go get the store ready to open, because as soon as that bell rings, all the athletes that are trying to get to practice descend on the school store to get their snacks and their Gatorade before they go to practice. So the workers that are on the schedule need to make sure that they get there quickly. When the shift ends, the manager and 1 other employee count and balance the drawer. We've been made it very clear that they are never to be alone with money. So there must always be 2 employees counting the money. They must use the form from the bookkeeper. There is a specific form that the state requires that you use. So make sure this is where being on the same page with the bookkeeper comes into play. Make sure that they're using the form that came from the bookkeeper. And then make a copy of that form to keep for your records, so that when you go back at the end of the month to reconcile, you can make sure that the deposit that you made every day is what shows up on the bookkeeper's records. And then the drawer is closed, the square is closed. The other 2 employees restock and clean. We're very picky about cleanliness, and especially now. So we keep a bleach cleaner and rags, and they clean the school store. And then the deposit and the cash box are locked up, and the store is locked for the night. So what needs to be done monthly? Every month you need to check your sales and compare them to that same month for the previous year, and then also to the month before. This will help you kind of track what sells in the month of September, or what isn't selling. Is there something we can do to improve it, or is there something that sold last year that's not selling this year? This will also allow you to work with your bookkeeper to learn how the inventory must be done and to get it done on time. The bookkeepers are really rigid about inventory being done monthly. So every month you must inventory everything that's in the school store. However, if you've done a good job with your square, if you log in every time you bring in new inventory, you make sure that your employees know that they have to ring up inventory, all their sales correctly when they sell them, then the square will make it very easy for you to do this inventory. And you need to try to have some type of promotion monthly. I know that's covered up because of my picture, my video, but yeah, try to have some type of promotion monthly that keeps the students coming into the store. Sometimes that promotion for us will be food. Sometimes it'll be spiritware. Sometimes we'll do a thing like where we had the llamas and they get a coupon and they can bring it in and, get a free Gatorade or get $2 off a $5 purchase. But there needs to be some sort of promotion monthly that keeps it fresh and keeps them wanting to come in. Some helpful hints. What we have learned. What works one year may not work the next. So don't be afraid to try different things. Let your marketing students figure out what the promotion should be. You'll be amazed at the terrific ideas they'll come up with, and they relate to your student body. Listen to the students. Sell what they want to buy. If they're coming into your store and saying, wow, I really wish you had blah, 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 go find it. Make the cafeteria manager your friend. I've already said that one, but that is super important. Be sure you follow the same health inspection rules as the cafeteria, because you will be inspected too. And I did not know this the first year until the health inspector showed up in my school store. And it was the day for him to be inspecting the cafeteria. And because we sold food and drinks, then the school store had to be inspected too. Fortunately, we were right on par. We were spotlessly clean. Everything was refrigerated that should be refrigerated. But just make sure you're aware of the health inspection rules so that you're prepared for that to happen. Have special events during the holidays. Halloween, Christmas, have special Easter, do special events. St. Patrick's Day, whatever's special events are going on, if it's homecoming at your school, so have special events that get the students, the whole student body involved in wanting to come to the school store. And most importantly, be very meticulous with your inventory. Your inventory is not something that can be half done. That's going to have your undivided attention. Make sure you are meticulous with that, because if it's off one month, then that will just snowball. And then it'll get to a point where you're having to go back and redo months and months and months of inventory because it's wrong. And yes, that is the voice of experience you hear speaking. So be very meticulous with your inventory. Okay, and so that's it for how to make a school store a reality. And I hope you've enjoyed it and gotten some beneficial information. My email is angela.lewis@hardin.kyschools.us. And if you would like to email me, I will be more than happy to forward this whole PowerPoint to you. Or if you have any questions, please feel free to email me those questions. I'll be happy to answer those for you. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your conference.